Famous for its charming seaside towns, rich maritime history, and miles of golden yellow beaches, Cape Cod is a scenic coastal getaway for anyone seeking relaxation and simplicity. The region provides some of the most delicious seafood dishes, including the creamy clam chowder and the delectable lobster roll, luring lovers of food to the sandy shores of Cape Cod as well. We've just pitched our tent here in Cape Cod, and we've decided to stay at the Dunes Edge Campground, which is at the tip of the peninsula.
For the past few months, Claire has been talking non-stop about lobster rolls and clam chowder, and tonight we will be partaking in a meal of seafood.
Yes, hopefully the first of many, because I've been thinking about it for months on end for the entire drive from our home all the way here. So, the salivating must end now. I'm so excited to eat. Let's go.
It must end now.
Thank you so much.
Wonderful.
Oh my gosh, this looks amazing.
Dun, 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 dun.
The wait is over. The seafood feast officially begins. We've decided to get a lobster roll, and they actually had two options. You can either get cold lobster roll or a hot lobster roll. We went with the hot one just because melted butter and chives and just steaming hot lobster sounded amazing. So we had that. It came with some coleslaw as well as a pickle and 2 lemons. And then we also have the clam chowder, something I've been looking forward to for so long. It comes with the little oyster chips. I believe that's what they're called, oyster crackers. It's topped off with some chopped up parsley. We also have this massive plate of fish and chips. And I don't think we've ever had fish and chips up here in New England. So this is going to be our very first taste of it. And the last time that we had fish and chips was over in Amsterdam when we tried kibbeling, and theirs was falling apart, mouth-watering delicious. So we'll have to give a little comparison with that one.
All right, you get the first bite for sure.
Ooh, me? Oh, the bun is just so nicely toasted, golden brown. So good.
Good lobster?
I think by getting the hot lobster roll, you're kind of able to taste the lobster itself a little bit more because it's not caked in mayonnaise or any other sauce. It really allows it to stand out.
It just tastes so fresh.
Yeah. So we don't get to eat cod very often. We normally get salmon or salmon. We pretty much just eat salmon at home. And so having cod and whitefish in general is very exciting for us.
Yeah, it's really good.
This clam chowder has a very distinct taste.
Oh, I don't know what that is though. It's first thought was that it's like herby.
Yeah, it is a little bit herby. And it's not too chunky. It's actually quite smooth. Whatever they have, like whatever vegetables are in there, it's chopped quite fine, which I like because I don't like it when I bite into clam chowder and there's just this massive piece of potato.
That is really nice though.
Finding ones that aren't too salty has always been kind of tricky, and this is perfectly salted.
I'd eat that.
What's your favorite from the 3?
Clam chowder, actually.
Yeah, me too.
It's really nice. But also this lobster roll is awesome.
For the last 2 hours, we've been walking around Provincetown, or P-Town as the locals like to call it, and we've noticed a very significant and great LGBTQ presence in the city. We weren't sure if it was just because it's Pride Month, because we are visiting in June, but there are pride flags everywhere.
I thought there was like some sort of festival going on, and so I decided to Google it, and apparently P-Town has been visited ever since the 1960s by like the LGBTQ plus community, and I had no idea that it had like that historic background of being, you know, a community.
Yeah, or like a destination for that community.
Right, yeah, it was so fascinating because I don't think on any of our travels we found a destination that is like catered for that community.
Yeah, I think that is so cool. We've been walking around and just seeing so many happy people enjoying their time here in Provincetown. We were looking around for dessert shops and we found this one cupcake shop that specializes in a cupcake with pink frosting, and I think that's like the only thing they sell. So we're standing in front of it right now. It says that they are ridiculously delicious and we are very excited to give the cupcake a try. What do you want? A classic or
A classic.
Yeah, okay.
All right, Scott, we are gonna try your cupcake. It looks so good.
Yeah, they had minis and then they also had classics. And Chad said he wanted to go for the classic, the big cupcake.
Oh, I know how I'm gonna eat mine.
How are you eating yours?
You'll see, like a maniac.
Oh my gosh.
Cupcake sandwich.
You didn't wait for me to cheers.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I'm taking a long time.
Yeah, she's taking too long. I love icing.
It is so classic.
Mm-hmm.
That's like the perfect word for it. It's like one of those cupcakes that you get when you're at a birthday party as a kid.
Perhaps from the grocery store. But this one's better than that. It tastes homemade.
We're currently standing in the parking lot in hopes of catching a beautiful sunset, but right around the corner is this little dune and then it's the beach, and it sounds like a tornado or a hurricane is on the other side of it. I'm a little scared to go over the dune, but you know, let's go see. Maybe it just sounds a lot worse than what it actually is.
Or it's way worse.
I was never the one to give up the ghost. No, I was so stuck. I kept on playing my part, wanted to give up cause nothing was changing. But with you it's so clear, and now that you're here I see colors in every spectrum. Guess I finally learned my lesson. Cause you glue all the pieces back together. Yeah, you take all my wrongs and make them better. Yeah, you're making me wanna try forever. And I feel so free, oh my sweet baby. And I think to myself, and I'm thinking out loud, we won't need nothing else for the rest of our time. And I know it so well, I will always be by your side.
Well, that just about wraps up our incredible first day here in Cape Cod. It was honestly a way better day than I even expected. Like the whole PT town, or P-town? PT-town.
P-town, yeah.
The whole P-town was just beautiful, so cool. There was this really random tower that apparently is commemorating like the pilgrims that came. Fascinating.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere. Looked like we were in Europe. And then the sunset was just insane tonight.
Yeah, this is the very first time that we've camped by the beach ever since the van. So it's been maybe like 4 years. There's something about feeling the stickiness of the salty air in your hair and on your toes, and like brushing the sand off before getting into the tent. It's just a very memorable experience, and it really does feel like you're connected to nature, connected to the beach. And I'm just excited to wake up tomorrow morning and breathe in the ocean air once again.
Yes, that sounds very nice.
But tonight we're going to look out for some stars because it looks like a pretty clear night. I don't see a single cloud in the sky, so we should be getting a sky full of diamonds.
Hopefully.
Yeah, fingers
we'll see
crossed.
what we get. But with all of that, we'll see you guys tomorrow morning.
Good morning from our second day here in Cape Cod. For breakfast, we decided to go into Provincetown to swing by this Portuguese bakery that's been around since 1936. And when I walked in, inside of the cases were so many baked goods. There were cheesecakes, pastéis, and also some donuts. I had a hard time choosing, but once I saw the pastéis de nata, I knew that I had to get a dozen of those. A dozen, which is quite a lot for 2 people, but you know, we're treating ourselves.
And while Claire was in the bakery, I was actually driving around the city and I saw all of these Portuguese flags, which were kind of random to me. But after a quick search, apparently a lot of the Portuguese people back in the day, they were fishermen and they were hired on US boats and they ended up settling here in Cape Cod. So, pretty neat.
Yeah.
That's why we get to eat these now.
I know, so let us delight. Oh my goodness, well we have 12, so there's plenty to go around. We do not have powdered sugar, but we do have cinnamon, so we'll just have the cinnamon on top. Cheers!
The taste of Portugal.
Yeah.
Brings me right back. So today we've decided to have somewhat of a slow morning. It's actually almost about noon. I think we're just gonna chill in the campsite, maybe read our books, wash the dishes.
Yeah, it's just so hard to wake up when the tent is so nice and the sleeping pad feels like a real bed and we're just...
I just love the sounds.
I know, yeah. It feels like you're sleeping in paradise, so it's very difficult to wake up in the mornings. We're just taking it easy. I feel like that's what you're supposed to do when you're on Cape Cod anyways. All around town, we've seen many places offering happy hour for raw oysters and clams, and we've come to Mac's Seafood House for that little taste of it. We have a dozen of local oysters as well as a dozen of little neck clams. They smell like the ocean, and it smells a little bit lemony because I just squeezed some lemon juice over them. Look at the size of it. It's so big. Just a little bit of sauce on it. So good.
You made it look good.
Yeah.
Do you feel one with the ocean?
I do feel one with the ocean. I always feel like a mermaid when I'm eating oysters. I just love holding like the shell in my hand. It just makes me feel so connected to the earth. As a kid, whenever we'd go to the beach down south, my family would spend hours and hours digging up clams, but the clams down there were about this big. So this is probably about 30 of those tiny clams that I ate growing up, so this is quite exciting. Very, very large. Yeah, there's definitely a difference between clams and oysters. I've heard oftentimes that they feel very similar texturally, but I think the clams are actually a little bit chewier.
I can't say I've ever tried a raw clam. That's what these are, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never tried a raw clam. So, there's a first for everything. Bottoms up. Yeah, it's more substantial. It's like you can really chew it versus an oyster. I feel like it's hitting a part of my tongue that the oyster does not. Closer to a, no?
Yeah, raw chicken, I'd say.
I like your setup.
Yeah. The waiter just came over to me and put a bib around my neck, and now I'm ready for my lobster dinner. Thank you so much. Enjoy your meal. When's the last time I had a whole lobster?
That's crazy.
Well, I have been dreaming about the lobsters here on Cape Cod for far too long. And I just really went for it tonight. I got a full lobster, a 2-pound one, because there was an option between 1.5 pound or 2 pound. I went with 2 pound so that Chad could also have a little taste. And it is so, so beautiful. There's some butter on the side, a whole corn on the cob, and then I decided to get mashed potatoes as my side. Before coming to Cape Cod, Chad was warning me about the sharks in the water, and it turns out he's actually right. There's a sign here that says there are great white sharks swimming around, and you gotta enter at your own risk, so we will not be swimming today.
But I will say, peak activity is not until October. We're in June right now.
That's true.
So
just a small chance we might get nibbled on. I just delighted in lots of seafood. I probably would taste better than ever right now, so let's not risk it.
What is in Claire's magical box?
The good thing about getting a dozen pastéis means you have more to eat throughout the entire day. We only have 5 left. I wonder who ate the extra one, since it's an odd number rather than an even number. I even brought the cinnamon out here, and I'm going to enjoy our dessert to the most wonderful front row view of the ocean. It's pretty windy.
Yeah, do it low.
Oh, long hair.
Mmm.
You having 2?
Yeah. One for now, one for later.
Yeah, we forgot. Won't you stay? Won't you stay? Won't you stay? Won't you
While I've been crocheting, I've been sneaking peeks at all the seals that are just wading around in the water. And according to that sign that we saw on the way in, those are the things that the great white sharks are eating. Thankfully, none of them have gotten eaten yet, but it's been really cool to watch them because they kind of look like demons in the water. Their eyes are just jet black and their bodies are like, they kind of remind me of Dementors.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Yeah, they're pretty creepy. Obviously, it's not making me really want to get in the water just seeing the seals. Also knowing that there are sharks hunting the seals on top of that. Many reasons as to why we're not swimming for like the first time ever, because if you know us, we're always like ripping off our clothes, jumping into the water as soon as we can get. But not today.
It's a crochet day.
It's a crochet day.
Look at her go.
I'm making a scarf from these little granny squares. Long way to go.
Thank you guys for joining us here in Cape Cod, and if you're interested in following along as we head over to Boston in our next video, then hit subscribe and join us as we travel to 50 countries around the world. And with all of that said, we'll see you guys next time.